Okay. So I've been on the hill for about 25 years, and I remember when this was a dog bar.
Yeah.
What was that, and like, what's sort of the history of the space?
It was called Stray Bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, it was known for a dog bar, and I think maybe because there's a dog logo up front and there was dogs in here.
There was definitely dogs.
You know.
Yeah.
We also allow dogs and get quite a few dogs, and sometimes too many dogs.
Okay.
Because we've expanded. You know,
Yeah.
if you remember before, it used to end pretty much where the concrete changes.
Okay.
That was the main space of Stray
Okay.
Bar.
Okay.
You know, then there was like the bathrooms right there, the walk-ins right there, and they had that pool room in the fireplace.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember that much.
Yeah. So because it was all kind of like a narrow hallway, and so you know, we could have anywhere sometimes from 0 dogs to maybe 10 or 12, which is like it's kind of
It's a
too many.
lot, yeah.
It's too many, to be
Yeah.
honest. As long as all the dogs are cool, it's cool. But if there's a barky dog or slightly aggressive dog, then it kind of
Yeah. We would be invited.
it disrupts the whole ecosystem of
Yeah.
dogs, you know, because it only takes someone to. But most 99% of the time, it's good.
Okay.
There's no issues.
And were you related with Stray Bar, or that was just before your time?
No, I wasn't related at all.
Okay.
No.
So when did you take over?
We took over, I think everything was finalized in May 2013.
Okay.
I came and looked at the space winter of 2012.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, ooh, it's slow up here. You know, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
And, you know, it turned out to be a great idea. We were pretty slow for like 6 years, you know.
Were you in the business beforehand, or what was? Okay.
Yeah, so I got linked up with a couple guys who owned Churchill and Bloodhound. They owned Double Dutch in the past, and I was looking for them at Churchill.
Okay.
I was working with some other guys downtown, and I left there to kind of work with them because they kind of had I wouldn't say reputation, but there was a pattern of 2, and I was hoping that there'd be a pattern of 3 where whenever they would find a new maybe spot to buy or purchase or renovate, they would bring on a third partner to run it.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I've seen this happen twice. Well, actually, I didn't see it happen twice. I saw it. I worked for 2 spots where it happened too, so I didn't really see it happen. But I realized,
Subjected to it.
yeah, and I thought maybe it could happen a third time. So I left some other jobs, and I started working at Churchill. And long story short, it happened a third time with me.
Okay.
So that's kind of how we got into here. And they bought the entire building from Karen, and I was just part of the bar.
Okay. And how did you come up with the theme?
You know, we had a bunch of names in the hat, all kinds of ideas. It whittled down to Holy Water. No real like grandiose story other than like, you know, we like this name, we like this name, we like this name, what this, what that, and we mulled over Holy Water for a little bit,
Okay.
and gave it some thought and said, yeah, that could work. Might make some people upset, might piss some people off.
Yeah. I'm sure it does, right?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I would understand, you know. So, and there was a split second where I thought, oh, maybe this is a bad idea because I've got a lot of Catholic family. You know, maybe they'll be upset. None of them have been upset. I have an aunt who just passed, who was 100, who was a nun her entire life. She spent the last 20 years down in, where's she at? North of Santa Cruz. I can't remember, but she came in and she loved it.
Okay.
You know, not that she, you know, gets to speak for every single Catholic in the world, but you know, she loved all my aunts and uncles have loved it. I mean, shoot, the Pope just threw a rave in the Vatican, so I imagine he wouldn't care too much. Yeah.
I'm sure you're the least of his problems.
100%. So yeah, and you know, and the walls were pretty bare for the first 5 or 6 years, and it wasn't until a friend of mine opened a bar and he had all this stuff on the wall like day one, and I thought, man, this looks so great, it looks so lived. What have I been doing? So I got on Etsy and eBay and was going to garage sales and stuff like that, and finding postcards and finding old prints and finding weird things. And I had a friend who was living we had a little shop on Mission in college. He had like a framing shop. He was a gardener and he did all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
I was like, Hector, I got all these frames. "Oh, these pictures, can you frame them for me?" And he's like, "Well, I got all these frames," and like Matt, I was like, "I don't want to pick anything. Like I can't. That's too much for me."
Yeah.
Anyways, he did it all. He like 400 pieces. I threw them up, and I've just been adding ever since. Just like
Yeah, it's funny because I used my sort of like transition. I started in New York and sort of worked my way west, and I was in Chicago for a while, and then a friend of mine used to do like reclamation of like buildings that were like going to be demolished, and a lot of what they would do is churches. So like he had all kinds of like icons, you know, from the churches. So like, you know, and like it's scary shit. Like if it comes out of a church, it could be some, you know.
totally.
But like you walk into his house and like it feels like a church, you know. But that was just kind of fun.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. It's like
And then people added to the collection. Like did people bring stuff?
a little bit. We've had some people bring some rosaries.
Okay.
Some were like, "Oh, this is blessed by this pope," or this and that.
Okay.
I'm a little particular about what I like to put up because there's some kind of like stuff that's like very obviously new,
Yeah.
and I try to keep it in the theme of old. But there's been some pretty cool things. There's something over by the little wall. It was kind of like it's like this opens up. That was really cool. Someone gave us. Someone did a painting. I get people reaching out, and I sometimes say yes, or sometimes I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard because you know
'Cause it's
someone's
important
into
to
it.
them. Yeah.
They think of you, and you want to say yes, but you're like, you know, I gotta keep vision and theme consistent.
And so what is so is it primarily a neighborhood crowd, or what is sort of the
I think
audience?
It's a mix. I think you know, in the beginning it very much was, and it's kind of grown.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of regulars that have their certain days and there's certain times. We have regulars in the afternoon, regulars in the evening. Yeah, I think we get a good amount of neighborhood people and people coming here from wherever. 5-6 years ago, someone taking a cab across town seemed crazy, but you know now people are like, "Oh yeah, I came up from North Beach."
Some people won't walk up the hill.
100%, you know. So, and then we'll get people coming from out of town who are like, I was coming from the airport and I wanted to stop in. You know, that happens quite a bit, and it's always kind of crazy to hear like, "Oh, I was in LA and I had to
How
come
did
see you
they
guys."
hear about it? Or, do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, being around for 12 years, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of people come and go working here. They've
Yeah.
done a lot of things, and after a while, I think maybe word of mouth, and you got friends scattered all over the country, and sure Instagram helps.
What do you think? What are your signature drinks?
Signature drinks. We just upgraded the menu from like 12, which I would say was our signature drinks, right? Because it's kind of like signature drinks is always kind of an idea. For me, it always seems like a corporate chain restaurant thing. Like, these are our signature drinks. Like, nobody else has these.
Okay.
Which we don't really, and I think most bars don't really do that anymore. Than like, these are our signature drinks, right? So I kind of like the entire menu. I guess it was like, these are the drinks that we've thought about, we've worked on, we've made house ingredients for, or we've done some fusions, or we've done blends. So kind of everything in the menu would be,
Okay.
I know that's not really helpful, but those are what we would think of as signature drinks, which, again, like if you go to a Chili's and they've got like 15 drinks, they might have to be there like, these are our signature ones, which I don't really know what that means, other than maybe it's like a marketing thing of like, buy these.
Or they get a volume discount on that.
Yeah, like,
a bottle or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Like, these are our cheapest products and we're going to
Yeah.
make some money on it. And
It's kind of funny because anytime I've been in here, like, sadly, I've only ordered one thing ever.
It's totally fine. Not sad at all.
But because I always order like a tequila ocho margarita or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
But you guys have a fair amount of top shelf versus just ordering a wall drink, right? Do you find that most people call the
Depends. We do have a lot of top shelf, but I also try to price that pretty aggressively so it doesn't feel out of reach.
okay?
Except for, I was just looking at some numbers, actually, being a topic too. I was buying it in 2015 for about $23. If I bought 10 cases, which was 6 packs, so 60 bottles.
Yeah.
It was like $23. It was like a special.
Yeah, I left out a part of what I do.
Uh-huh.
I do all the marketing for the tequila store.
Oh, okay. So you know a grip about a tequila.
Yeah.
So then
Which
you,
is why I only drink that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really excited about tequila recently too, and just agave spirits in general. I just
Yeah.
got a bunch of really great stuff that Moose has down there.
Yeah.
But it's now like I want to say it's like $42,750, so it's
The
gone up.
Tapatio is still a really good brand and a really good sort of price point, even for what it is, right?
Oh, Tapatio, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's MIA at the moment. I'm sure the price is going to go back up since they're changing it. But Ocho was like 23, and now it's like 42,
Yeah,
and it's just like
crazy, right? Yeah.
it's just like. But there's still some stuff out there that's affordable, like Cascaween and some stuff out there. But
Yeah, like we always, like our default recommendations are Castorine, Arete, like that 40-ish
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
retail price range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So-
And it's still a really nice bottle. of
yeah, even
tequila.
some of the agave stuff I get that's maybe like 110.
Yeah.
I try to price it around like 20 or 24. I try to make it not too crazy. And actually just was kind of looking over some stuff. I'm like, I think I'm going to release a little bit more just so that people will enjoy them. So they're not up there just being there forever. And that doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah.
You know.
And like, have people embraced mezcal?
They're getting
Or
there. I mean, they were,
slowly,
they
right?
weren't. It was
Yeah.
kind of, but I just recently went to this tasting at ABV of, Ray Campero and
Yeah.
Chocolo. And I was just like, I need to get these. And so I bought a bunch of them.
Okay.
And I recycled some other things that maybe wasn't really moving so much or
Yeah.
nobody seemed to care about. And I was like, maybe nobody cares, but I'm so stoked on these. Like,
Yeah, I think
You know.
the hard thing with the mezcals is there's such a learning curve because there's like so many,
Yeah.
and they're all limited batch. So like, because I try to tell people like think wine. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, if you like the bottle, go back and buy it because next year the weather might be different or this or that or like I think very much of like vintage because they're all small.
we definitely have some people drinking it, and that the mezcal is another more. I have like 2 bottles besides our well, which is really great, is the Puntiagudo Espadín, which is like it's a killer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a well mezcal because it's like
Some agave
it's like
spirit, right?
almost like 4 times the price you would find at a dive bar of their well product. You know what I mean? It's definitely our most expensive well item. But I charge $12 and it could be 14, 15 in a restaurant.
Yeah.
But so we got that for 12, and then I've got the Ray Campero Espadín and then Granolta Espadín for 14. And then everything else is like probably 16, 18, then 20, 22, 23. But it's like
But by then you know what you're drinking, so
you should.
Yeah.
Or if you're not entirely sure, you try those and have your mind kind of blown like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is mezcal. You're like, this is some dope mezcal. Like,
My favorite is people come into the store and they're like, "Oh, I don't like anything smoky." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's only like a small percentage of mezcals." You know what I mean? And so
those are from the guys who are just trying to like make it the same every single time, and so they just overly roast it. And people are like, what?
But I'm like, I don't like smoky either. But,
Yeah.
but I like mezcal, so like it
Totally.
doesn't,
But that was an era for a long time for American public, right? Oh, but it's like tequila, but it's smoky.
Yeah. And then if they come in for Casamigos, I'm like, go.
Yeah, right.
Boy.
Yeah. You're like, sure, if you're gonna put it in eggnog.
Yeah.
You're like, but even then it's like, okay.
My favorite is because I was like, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah,
You know what I
totally.
mean?
Great
They're
answer.
like, we're gonna mix it. And I'm like, then why are you buying a $100 bottle? Like,
You don't need that.
What the fuck?
Totally.
I'll sell you, right there. I'll sell you, a Castorine, like $40 bottle, and that's
Yeah.
perfect, right?
Yeah, you'll be stoked, and you will definitely notice it over buying a bottle of Espolòn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any themes? Like, I know that you've done Beer Week in the past, and I know you've done some other things. So, like, any particular events yearly that you do that are like notable?
Mostly just Beer Week.
Okay.
Beer Week's a big one for us, and then we do our anniversary party, which we just did in
And that
October.
was 12.
It was 12, yeah,
Congratulations.
which is always a big one.
We stopped in for that.
Oh, great! It's our busiest one yet, which is kind of wild.
Okay.
Last year was a slower anniversary party than I expected, which is fine.
Yeah.
But this one was like so much busier. I was like, wow, great. So and that's
And was it mostly regulars, or what was
a lot of
who came out?
regulars,
Okay.
a lot of yeah. What's up, man? Thank you. I knew it was fine. Yeah, a lot of regulars. Some people from across the bridge. Have a great one. friends, you know, regulars that maybe have moved out of the neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, it was busy from like 3:30 till like 1 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, we came in like early, like because I had a tasting event that night. So
Okay.
we came in early. And, we're
Yeah.
hoping, our tasting event was hoping you would have overflow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
What else? Tell me about you. Tell me a little bit about your background and give me a little history of you.
Background.
Lots of ink, at least in what
Yeah,
I can see so
yeah,
far.
yeah. I got a lot of tattoos. I would say, you know, if I don't have my arms done, I would say if my arms were tattooed, I would probably be like 90%, 95%.
And is that conscious decision?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm
Not
just
that
not,
this is relevant, but the
I'm
story,
just
but
not sure.
curious.
I'm not sure if I can handle staring at my arms all the time. It's,
Okay.
it's like it's a little different. Below the waist is a little like kind of out of sight.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could commit to seeing it on my arms. And that's a lot. That's a lot of it.
I have a tattoo on my back,
Uh-huh.
and I actually forget that I have it.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, like I'll be somewhere where like there's a reflection. I'm like, oh right.
Yeah.
Like because it's just like you forget. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen it, right?
Yeah, totally.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
But I've pretty much got pretty much my entire front and back and my neck all the way down to my ankles and top of my feet. My entire butt, everything's pretty much
Is there a theme?
not entirely stuff I might like or liked
Okay.
at the time. And I've gone to, you know, just a couple guys. So there's been, the legs are each leg is one big piece.
Okay.
There's, you know, there's like,
Was that obviously multiple cities though, right? Or, yeah.
I mean, the back of each leg was probably like 45, 50 hours.
Oh, okay.
And the fronts were just kind of pieced together, but the back was all one guy, the legs was one guy, and it only been tattooed by 3 people, 2 mostly. What else? I grew up like in Sacramento.
Okay.
Moved there when I was 5 with my mom, founded families from the Central Valley. I lived in like Yosemite or Mariposa County for until I was like 5. Then we moved to Hillmar. Moved to Sacramento, was there. Moved around a little bit after that. Did kind of construction work, trade stuff. You know, I worked like telecom for a little bit, working as in like inside the cell phone towers where you would hook up all the machinery, all the RF bays and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun, but we were all kind of contractors, and that fizzled out. Worked in a cabinet shop, laid tile, did concrete, did siding, did windows, and then there was a restaurant opened up in Sacramento near me where I'd lived, and I applied as like a busser. I think I was like 23 or something. I was working full time. I was going to school because this time, you know, Sacramento gets hot. It's like 110, 115, and I was like, oh, maybe there's a better job. Maybe I can stay in
Being
construction.
outside, yeah.
But go inside, and I somehow had this idea. Maybe it'd be fun to be a drafter. I don't know where. I took a drafting class in high school, and I thought maybe it'd be fun to be a drafter. You get paid for that. So I went through this course in the City College. It was like an architectural structure and design course.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and I was doing this thing, and then started busing and bar backing, and then eventually moved to the city. Got linked up with H over at Elixir, and finished my course. Kind of looked into it and realized at this time, 2008, 2009, I think the housing market was pretty much falling apart. So there was no drafters to be hired, even though, you know. And then I found out that they also want you to have like an architect degree. And I was like, fucking go to fucking school to get. I was like, I don't want to be an architect. I was just hoping to be like I don't know.
Pay me by me.
They, you know,
piece, yeah.
you do Autodesk and use Revit, and so I just kind of stayed working in bars.
Okay.
Worked at Elixir, worked at Rick House when it opened, Heaven's Dog, Belinda, you know, kind of. And then we opened this place in 2013, and then took over Bloodhound from Dylan, who owns Prize Fighter. Managed Churchill for a little bit. We sold Bloodhound, and it's just me here now.
So what's the best thing about running it?
The flexibility,
Okay.
you know. I like to joke that I kind of have like banker's hours. I no longer have to bartend. I kind of get in here 7:38. If I have things to do during the day, I can do them, but I try to wrap my time up at the bar by 2:33. You know, I'll try to see most of the staff a little bit overlay. If I need to do other work, I can go home and do it. Or, if some things need to get done not right now, I can do them tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll kind of push them off. But just having the flexibility and creativity. When I was running 3 bars at one time, it was just putting out fires all the time. There was no there wasn't time to do anything except for fix things.
And what's different about having a bar in Bernal versus other neighborhoods?
Well,
And we can edit this. So.
No, yeah, it seems more tight knit. It seems like a little mini village. Like if there was only 3 blocks deep all the way around, it would feel like a little village somewhere. If we plop this up in Northern California near the coast, boom.
Yeah.
I imagine there's some neighborhoods like that, but that Haight Street wouldn't necessarily feel like that. You would have regulars, but it wouldn't feel so.
I mean, people don't go over the hill, and that's still Bernal. And what's interesting is having worked on the merchant corridors, is Cortland's different than Mission Street, even though they're both Bernal Heights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people don't go that far. You know what I mean? And I know that even here, people don't necessarily walk up the block.
Yeah.
So really, it's very hyper local, right?
Yeah. I meet people who are how long have you guys been here? 12 years. Wow. I've lived here all my life. I've never noticed you. I was like, well, the building is very unassuming. No big deal.
We get that at the store. People are is this new? I'm like, no. What else do we need to do? Right?
I would love to change the facade of the building, just paint it something other than light gray, but
Okay.
someday maybe.
And is there an advantage of being up sort of away from the middle, or?
I don't know. Sometimes I wish we were closer to the middle, but then I think about we're probably pretty loud, so it's probably nice that we're not super right there. We try to be quiet, but sometimes it gets loud. No, I think.
I think my answer to that is Bear Bottle has no problem attracting people.
Yeah.
So if people want to go, they will go.
Yeah.
And you have to walk up or down the hill to get to Bear Bottle, and people do that. So they want to. Yeah.
I think there's. I don't think there's. I think the advantage is we get some great sun right here. But no, I've sometimes thought, maybe further down it'd be cool. We were across from Lucky Horseshoe, we'd have this triangular thing. But I mean, we're so close already. How much closer you need to be. So.
And there doesn't. One of the interesting things is you're a very different bar than the other bars on the corridor, right? I mean, Lucky Horseshoe is its own crowd. Wildside West is its own crowd. Bear Bottle is a completely different world.
Yeah.
But I mean, there doesn't. I'm guessing there's not a tremendous amount of overlap between the clientele.
I don't think there's a lot. There, there could be maybe
some people
5% overlap, right? I think we do all have our own crowds. That was a criticism we've had many years ago. You're going to take business from the bars. I'm I don't think so.
Yeah.
My beer drinkers and their beer drinkers don't overlap too much.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? So.
And do you do you feel that people come for craft beer? They come for the spirits? What's your predominant?
We've done a really good job trying to both of those things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To be honest,
cultivate both.
Worked really hard on the craft beer since we've been open.
Okay.
Drive, go pick up beer, try to get a lot of new accounts, have stuff shipped. A lot of people will come for the beer because they can get it maybe at Toronado, maybe Crafty Fox, maybe a couple other spots, but City Beer was open, but there's getting less and less, and so definitely the craft beer, and then the spirits. We have worked really hard on the spirits over the years to kind of have a really great back bar. And again, try to keep those low.
Did you do Beer Week last year?
Yeah.
Did you promote it less than you have in the past?
I don't think so. We did.
Because 1 year, you really promoted it. I remember you kind of promoted it harder.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, for some reason, it just seemed more visible. And then last year, I'm you guys still doing this? I'm yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
just
so.
Curious.
I thought it was. I mean, it was a busy beer week. Also, it was kind of. At first, it was something I wasn't really into, and it worked out to be a benefit. Was Beer Week was pushed back it used to always kind of line up with Pliny the Younger,
Okay.
and it kind of got separated. And I was a little like, oh man, that might kind of really like mess things up, because people come from all over the world literally for Beer Week because they also want to hit Younger.
Yeah.
And it actually worked out really great because we were able
Now
to.
they come twice.
no, but you know, you get the younger crowd, the local younger crowd, and it's more manageable because you're not like having all these other events on top of Younger. Then we had a year, I think 2022, where there was literally a line around the corner around the block, and it was like a 2-hour wait. And I was like, "This is totally."
That was the year where I felt like you guys promote. Maybe it was just the
It was.
visibility of the people.
Yeah, I think it was coming out of COVID, all these things, and boom,
People
boom,
are happy to be out. Yeah.
And it was like, "This is crazy. What is happening?" You know, and
You weren't complaining though.
no, not really, but it was one of those things where like, this is too busy, because then the neighbors were like, what the hell is going on? I mean,
Yeah.
no one came to me, but you know, if I was a neighbor, like, what the hell is going on? And there was like people drinking in line, so we'd be like, hey, come on, you can't be drinking out here. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, you know, this is my beverage. It's like, yeah, but you're in line to our business.
Yeah.
Our neighbors are going to blame us. You know, it actually worked out great. All that got taken care of, and it wasn't like this crazy thing, and both sides worked out great.
Yeah, we do court like Halloween, and people drink on that. And I'm like, you can't drink. Like, there's kids. Like, you know.
Oh, really? I mean, I guess I did notice it, but.
Well, it starts at Bennington, so like you're not in the midst of it.
Yeah.
But we've done it like 2 years now, where like it's an annual thing. But like we do have people who drink, and we're
Yeah.
like, you know, if you drink and I don't know you're drinking, I don't care.
Right.
But when you drink and I know you're drinking,
Yeah.
then we have to talk about it.
That's
you know what I mean?
kind of how the Fiesta on the Hill kind of has gone. I try to always get doorman on Sundays when we don't normally, because there'd be so many drunk people from Fiesta on the Hill
Yeah.
that want to come in and basically use the bathroom, and then they're super sloppy, and so I always have to get a door guy, because it's like they're not here for the drink; they're here to like use the bathroom and like vomit and piss everywhere, and it's
Right.
like, what are you doing? Like,
It's just always nice, yeah.
it's like, why are you getting so trashed?
Yeah. At a kid's event, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you think we should talk about or include? Anything you think of? What anything new or anything in the future?
I mean, the newest things we've done is, you know, I launched a new menu earlier this year. I don't know if you've seen that or come across it or have ever looked at it. I'll show it to you.
Sure.
Previously, it was this, like, you know, legal size paper, size 6 font on the back.
Okay.
And I had this idea for a while to like kind of do something
Oh,
nicer.
fancy, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I worked with this really great designer and illustrator, Sean
Okay.
Scott, a longtime buddy of mine. Just kind of make everything more visible.
Yeah.
Have a little story behind everything, kind of like little like haha, and break it up into different chapters and different things. Low ABV, main cocktail section, and then we just launched the Christmas section.
Okay.
This came out yesterday, so 4 drinks, kind of Christmas
Okay.
inspired.
And is all that on the website?
Yes,
Okay.
it's all on the website. Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
need to
you
actually.
reference it on the website.
I need to make sure I add a new PDF.
Okay. Okay.
But you know, a big thing was like I wanted to make this spirit section font was bigger. It was like size 7.5. It was like so tiny. Now it's much more, legible,
Okay.
readable. Yeah, it was just kind of one of those things where, with the prices going up on our ends, kind of so aggressively, like I have to raise prices, and I hate to do it, but
Have the tariffs been an impact to you?
no,
Have you seen
I
it?
haven't really seen it,
Yeah.
or maybe it's been kind of subtle, but things just in general have been going up and up and up, and I'm like, oh man. So I kind of wanted to spend some money, and this was not cheap,
Yeah.
to at least, you know, if I have to raise the prices on things, feels a little better experience.
And like, you know, do you see like, does your clientele like cycle as far as like, you know, like there's a new AI tech wave? Are you seeing like techies, you know, like does it cycle like as the different things change throughout the city?
What do you, my clientele?
Yeah, like, I mean, like, you know, I'm seeing a lot more like young couples moving into the neighborhood,
Oh
buying
yeah,
houses.
since I would say since COVID, absolutely.
Yeah.
Last couple of years have been. I've felt like I've seen a big change.
For the nonprofit, we love that because,
Yeah.
you know, the older people like, don't change anything, you know, don't tax me, don't do this. And like the young people are like, you know, I'm going to be here for the next 30 years. make it nice.
Do something.
Yeah. So like,
You're like-
I don't need to talk to the old people. Like, but like if I see a young couple just moved in, I'm like, can I talk to you? Because
Yeah.
it's like they're our future, and they want to invest in the future versus just
Yeah.
you know.
No, we've totally seen that. Which has also been, you know, I think probably hopefully helpful to all the businesses in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like the older folks, you know, sold some homes, probably retired somewhere else, and then they, you know, younger people are coming
Brings
in.
in some fresh blood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's also helped business, and so I hope hopefully it's helped everybody's business in that regard. You know, but
But you see like a different crowd, of, like you know, like Julie. You look
yeah,
around, and you're
younger.
like, these
I would
are
say younger.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like, you know, you think of
I'll
like
be careful,
the Noe
everybody.
Valley
Yeah.
or the Noe Valley crowd with all the strollers and all that. That wasn't here really a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was
Unless you were a
less.
lesbian
There was
couple.
less. Now it's like more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
You know, and it's.
Hopefully they're not coming in with the strollers.
Oh, people always try to come in with their babies. They try to do it. They try to hide it. You know, like in like a baby Bjorn in there, and it's just like, well, it's only, you know, this is my baby. I'm like, baby under 21.
We do the tastings on Friday, and we get that. And like, I seriously had a couple that got into a fight. We were like, can't bring the baby in. And then they had a fight over like who was going to get in because one of them had to stay outside.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
like,
so-
seriously, really? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was definitely weird.
Yeah. And
And that's not for the art.
And they, you know, people get a little like, they're usually pretty good about it, but sometimes they get upset about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you know the rules. You know, I have a Google number that doesn't ring. You go straight to voicemail, and it says, don't leave a message, just text me. Text this number, right? So, because we also don't have a landline, and so I'll get a lot of like, do you allow kids? 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 A lot of like, do you allow kids that are 6 years old? I'm like, nobody under 21. Why? State law. You know, so I get a lot of that. And I just wonder if maybe it's foreigners, maybe? I mean, I would hope that
No, I
people
know
in
what
San
I can tell you
Francisco,
what it is.
hopefully people in San Francisco know that a bar can't let kids in. I don't want to say those people are stupid, but it's kind of like,
No, you know what it is? I think I know what it is. Is Bear Bottle lets kids in because they serve food.
uh-huh.
So if you serve food, you can allow kids. That's the workaround.
Well, well, Bear Bottle is just beer and wine. Also, even if they didn't serve food, they could let kids in. Breweries can let kids in.
Yeah, but it's if you have
If
food,
if I had food,
You
my
could-
license would be different. Correct. I would have a 47.
yeah. But a lot of places like you don't think of Bear Bottle for food, but it
No.
does serve food, which allows them to let the kids in. And like you said, beer and wine. Right? So yeah. But
Yeah.
no, but like we get it in the store, and like, you know, they're under 21. And you know,
Yeah, you're like, I know this doesn't seem like a dingy liquor store, but
yeah.
it's a liquor store nonetheless.
Yeah.
They can't come in. So
Would,
yeah, I
would
guess
you ever
I've
expand or other locations, or this is enough?
got, you know, I ran 3 spots at one point, so it's just so much like extra
Yeah.
work. If the conditions are right, if the terms are right, I would be open to it. I don't think I'd want to do it in San Francisco.
Okay.
It's just, it's I've got a lot of, you know, handful of friends running different businesses, and most of them are having a really hard time, or some of them are doing fine, but it's just so up and down, you know. I would want to do
What
somewhere.
makes the difference, do you think?
We all have no idea. You know, it's
So
like,
it's not about like treating your customers well, or just like
I mean, yeah, that helps,
Yeah.
but you know, I don't think we're doing too much different than we always have, and we're pretty steady.
okay.
I think it's by neighborhood basis. You know, I've got some, you know, my buddy Barry who owns Craft and Fox is like, man, I feel like if this was plopped down in another location, we would be doing, you know, super busy.
Do you believe that?
I think they offer a really good product, great food, great atmosphere. The staff is great, and I think it potentially could help.
Yeah, I mean, like because you know, like Moose has that question all the time. Like, what if we move over here? I'm like, I don't think that is what it's about. Like, because
Yeah.
I just look at Bear Bottle and I'm like, people
Yeah.
are willing to walk down the friggin' hill
Yeah,
if they like what you're serving. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, if the offer is decent enough, people will seek it out.
well, I think too, Bear Bottle has, it's like parents can bring all their kids there.
Yeah, that helps.
There's also
Yeah,
there's
does
that
help a
thing,
lot,
you know,
right? Yeah.
you know, if Moose opened up a patio with a kids stroller parking lot, then maybe
Maybe.
it's like, But
we just let the under 21-year-olds just drink it.
yeah,
It's so much easier.
yeah, right. But no, I agree with what you're saying. I think there can be, 'cause there's still some corridors, like parts of Soma, they're still just dead. We were up in Bloodhound and we were down like 70% in sales, and it just.
But there's spots on the corridor that just are naturally dead. And there's very little,
Yeah.
that I think, like, there's always a spot on the, like, wherever you go, there's always a spot that,
Sure.
like, that's just a dead spot. Like, for whatever reason, it doesn't work, or,
That is true. There are spots like that. I don't
no
know.
matter what you put in, it's probably going to be like that.
I don't know what that rhyme or reason is, but Bloodhound we used to be just cranking busy. Churchill back in the day was crazy busy, and they're not in those glory days. It could be because they're now, it could be because Bloodhound was 15 years old. It could be like everyone was pushed out. All the arts people were pushed out by tech. There could be a lot of the reasons. Churchill could have been same idea, right? All the people who could afford to live there are gone, and people who are now living there maybe don't go out.
Or they go to a different venue, or what have you, right?
Somewhere else, yeah. I don't know. It's so hard to know. Like I'm sure somebody who's really good with data could look at some data analysis and figure all this stuff out. But then even then you're like, okay, that's what you think, but is that like the soul of the reason? Is that the spirit of the reason? That sometimes it's hard to know those metrics that you put in place that make something work.
I mean, so we work with a lot of merchants, right? And people ask me that all the time, and I'm like, my answer always is experience. What's the experience when people come to your, and if you're not delivering an experience, then, this is usually almost always retail, but I'm like, if you're not delivering an experience, I can go to Amazon, they're going to be cheap.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know what I mean? So like, if you have to deliver an experience for it to matter, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I guess that I kind of glaze over that because in my mind it's always like I tell the staff all the time, like, look, I can have the neatest, greatest, rarest shit up there on the back bar at the most wonderful price, but if nobody wants to deal with you, like no one's gonna come back. Like you guys are the kind of the main attraction. If you take too long, if you're rude, if you're sloppy, all these potentially negative things that can happen. It's like, more like you guys are number one. And I think that we have probably the best staff that we've ever had. Everybody's either managed a bar, some have owned a bar or a restaurant. Everyone has tons of experience, which, yeah, I have no doubt in turn also really helps. And maybe that's part of it. Like when we reopened, we were able to retain like a really great staff, and other spots kind of laid everybody off, and they kind of restarted with less experienced people, and it was like, I don't want to go back here, or like, ooh, these guys I want to come here.
Yeah, I mean, you go into any place and like you're not treated well, why would you go back, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I one time for me is enough.
Yeah.
I may come back in a couple of years later, but I'm not
'Cause you
going to
forgot.
come back. I'm not, or I might think like, well, everyone has a bad day, but I'm not going to be coming back next week.
And the other thing too is, so there's that, right? But there's also like, is the crowd welcoming?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so,
I think
like,
we have
can
a-
you walk in and like because I go to Wild Side West, and depending on the night, I get the looks like, why are you in here? You know what I mean? And so it's like, so then why?
Why go?
I don't need to. You know what I mean?
I've gotten that experience there a couple times. Not recently because I haven't been in there.
Yeah.
A long time, but.
But I mean, but that does happen. And,
Yeah,
and
like,
there's no reason to go back, right?
Yeah, you wait for beer and the bar is pretty small. Like the bartender sees you, they're talking to somebody else. They take someone else's order. You're just kind of ignored for like 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, good, I'll have a bud.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. I'm a white dude,
Yeah.
straight. Like, okay, but I don't need to be like shit on or ignored.
Right.
But no, you're totally right. It's experience and it's people behind the bar, and it's because that you can go to. It's like this funny thing. Like you can go to a place maybe giving you mediocre product, whether it's food, maybe a drink, maybe a donut. I don't know, whatever. Maybe coffee.
Yeah.
But if the atmosphere is great, the people, they're your buddies. You keep going back. It's the connection, the relationship, because you can have all the great stuff, and if someone's like not welcoming, doesn't remember your name, doesn't remember your order, you're like, I've been here 10 times, can't remember anything about you, doesn't even want to talk to you, ignores you, like, I'm like, I don't care. What? Like,
I ran a bar long time ago, but and like I remember like when I first started, my bar manager was like, "Hey, you. That's all you have to do. Like you don't need to remember their names, so you probably don't, but you know you've seen them before.
Yeah.
So you just sort of acknowledge them, and they think you were like, oh, you remembers me. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? If it just like just like acknowledge them that
Yeah.
you've seen them before and that kind of thing. Because everybody wants to. Hey,
Hey.
how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. I do go other places. But people just like want to feel like it's like the cheers thing, right? Everybody knows your name kind of thing, even if they don't.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Anything else? I think we're good, right? More or less.
Yeah, I think so.
If you think of anything, I'll send you a copy. If you think of anything you want to add, feel free. If there's anything I inadvertently put in that you're like, oh crap, don't put that in there. By all means. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, I would say probably the most thing I'm most excited about recently though it would be just kind of diving into agave spirits.
Okay.
Like we kind of mentioned, there's been just trying a couple brands and different things. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
Okay.
So, for whatever that's worth.
And we're down the street, so if anything
Yeah.
you can do, like to expand that, by all means, we'd love to chat with you about that too
Cool.
at some point. You got stuff that.
I know you guys get crazy stuff.
Yeah, so
Which
always
is-
welcome that opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I know that at ICM it's like it's crazy.
We've been doing a lot of single barrels lately.
I've
Yeah,
seen
Arte
that.
no.
Yeah, that was
Right.
great. I just
Right
had that the
there.
other night. It was great. It was really a good bottle.
I'm
So
about to go and get another order. Apparently it's sold out.
yeah, it was funny because we were tasting stuff and he was like, try this. And I'm like, what? And he's like, Arte no. And I'm like, really? Because I've
Yeah.
had it in the store for years. But that was a really good bottle.
Yeah.
So, we do get some special stuff in there one day.
Cool.
So, cool. All right, I'll let you go. Make sure we visit.